Guess what? We're back. The John and Wayne Part 2 kicks off today. Today we're going to be talking about the back end, the secondary, the safeties, the cornerbacks, and with a special treat, we're going to kick it off. Stick around right here on the Wayne Breezy Show. Let's go, baby.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezy make it look easy. Breezy on everything like 05067 Wheezy. This is not a gang. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like Smaller Bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah. Breezy this.
Oh, got the trance going on. John Chapman in the building. I like the 2 weeks, the 2 days in 1 week, man. I want to up that, man, going into the regular season, John. We got to figure out how to up the ante.
Oh, we're going to be together so often anyway.
Yeah, but we got to figure out how together. We got to put something together live on the road. I think people want to see us on the road. We got to figure that out. We got all the equipment.
We do.
We just got to figure out.
Carrying around all those damn bags.
The freaking suitcases to everywhere we go. Look, I'm so prepared for the 49ers Rush road trips. You guys have zero clue. Shout out to everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I told you we'll be here every Friday until, season really kicks off. We're going to start. Hey, John, 19 days, the Veterans Report to training camp, baby. Deebo Samuel days away, John. How you feeling, baby?
It's crazy how quick it showed up. Like, I thought the dead period would be a lot longer. It's not, and I'm thankful for that because I want new news. I love this time because we get to focus on a lot of things we don't pay attention to usually. But man, that's unwrapping, that's unwrapping presents. That's what that is.
Shout out to our boy Kali out there, man. It says, my guys, I hate this time. Actually, I like news. I like new news. I hate regurgitated news. And I found myself, John, burning out from regurgitating the news. Like, I was like, you know what? I don't want to talk about Brock anymore. I don't want to talk about Trey Lance anymore. I'm going to break. Yeah. I'm just going to break. Because it just led to arguments and to cortisone levels flaring up and all that different type. I don't even know what that is, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I was just all over the place.
Well, the one thing I will say is, like, man, when we hang out, we don't spend a lot of time talking 49ers quarterbacks. Let other people do that. We're trying to dive into stuff that's not talked. How many people grade out punters and long snappers and nickelbacks and all that stuff? That's what we're doing today.
Just one. I'm just here.
We're going to learn.
We're going to learn today. Guys, we truly appreciate everybody for tuning in on both channels. We got the Countdown crew in the building. We got the Breezy's Bunch crew in the building. I got to give a shout out to some of the Breezy Bunch members, John, because they're highlighted here. My man Dion from Niner Game Podcast is in the building. He says, let's go. We about to have the best DB group in the league with Wilks at the helm. John, how you feel about that?
You'd have to have a couple guys step up. There's no doubt about it, but it's not a far stretch. You have an all-pro safety. You've got a top 10 corner in Charvarius Ward. You got a young pup in Demo. You signed one of the better, if not the best, nickel corner in Isaiah Oliver. So yeah, it's not as big a stretch as most people think.
Now, going through these DBs, going through these secondaries, man, this might be the closest competition. Except for one team, won't say that team. This may be the closest competition that we've had and out of all the position groups. So I'm excited to break this show down. Christy Marie's in the building. Chrissy 1687 is in the building as well. Mike Ng is in the building. John, I know some of the Breezy's Bunch crew members, like, we're literally like family, and so we do more family-oriented things on the Discord. and I know they've been cursing me out for the past 3 months. I've been trying to put together this R&B,
Ooh.
male R&B like versus challenge, and it ain't me. I just can't get 10 people on the same page. This is why I quit teaching. I realized that I had to repeat directions 150 times, and it just messes me up. You know
Well,
what
I'm
I'm
sure
saying?
the regional ties to the music is very huge too. With you being on the East
I
Coast,
don't think it was.
no?
It was pretty dope. So what
I,
we did was we created a list of top 100, and we did a draft. We did a snake draft, and they got to pick who they wanted.
oh,
So it's pretty cool, and I'm getting them prepared for fantasy football. That's kind of like what I'm doing. They talking junk about me, aren't they? I see you laughing. It is what it is, man. But it's all cool, man. If you guys aren't on the Discord, I encourage you guys to join the Discord. Shout out to everybody out there. I see you guys in the building. We appreciate it. John, not much news going on for the 49ers. But I do want to point this out because I've been watching one of my favorite players this offseason. He got all the scrutiny. He got all the backlash last offseason. Can you guess who I'm talking about this season?
probably Demo, which we had some arguments on that
Ooh,
one.
close.
Oh,
Not Demo, but Deebo.
oh,
So I've been watching him work out. And I don't know if it's because I'm working out, but this dude is different. He looked like the Terminator 2. Like he's like a different machine. Like, what are your thoughts on how Deebo might transgress into the football field this particular season from last season? He already came out and said that he wasn't good. Basically, he said he
yeah,
wasn't good.
awful. He
Yeah.
called himself like, and that's who Debo is. Everything that Debo does is violent and aggressive, including whenever he breaks down his own game, including his workouts, including his negotiation tactics with the Niners. He just violence all the time. That's just what he is. And so if you could inch back closer to his 2021 self, watch out, man. Watch out, because this team is much better than the 2021 49ers. And so if he plays closer to 2021 Deebo than 2022 Deebo, whew.
I tried
Scary.
to do a little exercise, and I realized my memory is shot. So I was trying to figure out, excuse me, when it comes to the pass catchers, just in general, but the 49ers pass catchers lately under the Shanahan regime, when they go into that contract year, is that contract year usually a down year? Because I thought George Kittle had a pretty down year.
I think going into the contract year is huge. Or like to get the new contract
to get
is big,
the new contract,
always.
and then
That's
once they
Ayuk this year.
those offensive positions,
Money's the
or
motivator.
okay,
Facts.
it does. Listen, Mosquito Killer says that the working out with Saquon is helping him. Did you see that workout in particular? I know you don't pay attention. All right, so are you familiar with the sled?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we used to train with them all the time.
So these particular sleds are the sleds they use in the gym, not the football field sleds. So these are where you pound on the 45-pound plates. So Debo had like 6. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like what I do when I go to the gym. I hate the sled, right? But it works. Yo, Saquon had like 12 plates, bro,
Yeah. Saquon's different.
and still beat Debo in the race.
Yeah, he's different. I remember when Saquon was coming out of Penn State, and that dude was squatting like 650 pounds.
And I think he still is. That's the
he's
scary part.
different.
He had a squat video. The last video that surfaced with Deebo was him running. This dude clocked, I don't know the exact number, but like he was running like 18. The number hit 18 plus. So I went to the gym this morning.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What'd you get?
I got to double digits, but it was closer to 10.
Please tell me there's a video of this somewhere.
Hell
man.
no, because I
No.
almost fell. I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is not it. I don't listen. All I'm saying is Deebo to me this year. We talked about him last year so much about how he wasn't in shape, how he didn't look good, how he held out, how he did all that stuff. He did all the stuff that he was supposed to do going into a business year to get his contract or whatever. That's what most players do. But this year he's putting in the work and he's not getting any love. And I guess I'm bringing that up because I want people to see he's out there working. We already know what he can do on the football field. We know what he can do. You just said you want him to have that 2021 year where he had over 1,800 all-purpose yards. I think he's still that guy. I still think he could be that guy. The only difference is we got Christian McCaffrey. We got other weapons that are blossoming. It's going to be harder to reproduce that type of production when he's just not the only guy. But hey, I feel like he has the ability to do so. And I just wanted to give him some flowers. And I know he's just out there working out. But as much as we bad talked him from not working out and coming into camp fat and all this type of stuff, this dude looks good. That treadmill video, the fact that he even did it and ran it, no issues, no hamstring issues, knocking on wood. All I'm saying is the dude is putting in the work, and I think he's going to punch the whole NFL in the mouth.
The one thing I want to just add on is when they drafted Deebo out of South Carolina, Will Muschamp, Coach Boom. Oh, what's up, David Wallner? How you doing, man? David Wallner was one of my teaching mentors back when I started teaching, and he is ruthless.
He didn't have to say this, though.
Bring it, big dog. Let's go.
But tell him, I bet you, David, you won't see John Chapman. You won't see him on the basketball court because I bet you he be out there doing that.
Oh, I've dominated Wallner in the past on the basketball court.
See what I'm saying? That's what I said. Like, listen, basketball sprinting and gym sprinting is two different sprinting.
But back to Deebo, like Will Muschamp, his college coach, told Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, you just got to watch his offseason workouts because he does have a proclivity to come in a couple pounds overweight, a little out of shape after, eating all the home cooking and all that stuff. So you got to stay on that. Last year, he was away because of the contract stuff. This year, he's not. So I'm just telling you, man, Deebo going to have a good time.
I agree. And I think as far as the 49ers, and I know this is not that show, just the offense alone, man, they're returning. They're returning with more. They're returning with another year of added experience, another year to know. Kind of like it's kind of good when you don't do well because then you can really assess yourself and you can say, "Hey, this was my low. Like I never want to get there again." Like you know what I'm saying? And so like I feel like you look at if just four solid pieces with all these interchangeable parts at that fifth option. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. The Niners on offense can dominate. And I know it matters, but maybe it doesn't matter who's back there playing quarterback as long as the play caller is calling the plays to the strength of the quarterback that's out there.
No, I think you're on something. And we haven't seen the Deebo and McCaffrey at their best. If that happens this year, it's going to be bad.
What's up, Ty? It's going to be bad. Yeah, Ty, hey, man, listen, Ty, get the workout set up, man. I tell you what, do it in the morning, do it early. You can eat and enjoy the rest of the day. That's my motto. That's how I do it. So I'm done for the day. And then what you burn, since if you're lifting weights, you're burning muscle, you're burning fat, and you're burning. So it's pretty cool. All right, John, you ready? Because I'm excited to talk about the secondary. I just released my video on my expectations for the safeties for the 49ers. So that came out yesterday. It premiered yesterday. Shout out to those that joined the premiere show. I know it's not a live show, but it's set up like a live show. I appreciate that support, guys. You have no idea how hard it is to create content when I'm not live. I like to be live because of the interaction, but I appreciate those that joined and commented and all that type of stuff. I was excited to learn about our safeties, John, and I'm really excited about Jair Brown. There were three things to me that when he was at Penn State, first of all, he led the team in interceptions. Now, Penn State has some DBs. I mean, the Porter kid, I'll leave it alone. He led the team in interceptions at 3. He led the team in dropped interceptions, which is 2, which means he should have had 5. Here's the best thing. He led the team in stops, which are tackles for losses. John, he had 15. It was tied for second at 12 with the linebackers. This kid is a hybrid safety type of linebacker. He fits the 49ers mold, and we're adding him to the safeties. What are your thoughts on him before we get into the gist of the show?
Well, I mean, he's awesome. There's no doubt about it. One of my favorite things whenever I watch Tig's tape, Jair Brown, his nickname is Tigger. He goes by Tig. is just how violent he is within goal lines and short yardage situations. So the back end safety playmaking is awesome, but you like the thing that jumped out to me where I constantly just like, whoa, when I'm watching his tape is whenever he fills on the A or B gap in short yardage situations. And that's something
Stops.
that's different. That is different. And so obviously the long-term plan is Hufunga and Tig back there. And so now you're not going to have one but two guys because Tyshawn Gibson's great, incredible. I mean, he had 5 interceptions last year for the 49ers, but he's the ultimate last line of defense guy. He's not coming up hair on fire, filling holes, whatever. So the fact that the Niners safety group could be better and more improved long-term is exciting to watch develop because he's a different player than Tayshaun Gibson is, just different style.
I agree. I agree. Before we go ahead and get it, I want to get these super chats out the way because they're early. Sean says, word of advice of you 30s to 40s and working out, don't stop. I fought first time in 12 years last night. Oh my God. I was wondering why I haven't heard from Sean in 2 days. Oh my God. Jesus help me. I couldn't pick him up today. Who typed this with my nose? 1 year until D-Day. Be blessed. Listen, I get it. Your body, your muscles, the bones, when you get into that 40 age range, they just heal a little bit different. I don't know if the animanium in my body is running out, but all I know is it's a little bit different. Sean, thank you for the contribution. And we couldn't have this show start off without Jax Knox.
17-0, baby.
There it is. It sounds
Every
so much
time.
better when you say it. I feel like when I'm saying it, I feel like I'm hating. But when you say it, it just sounds good. Say it one more time.
17-0.
I love it. I love it, John. Let's go ahead and get down to this, man. Let's talk about which group we starting with, and
Let's
then
start
which
with
team.
safeties. You brought up safeties.
Hey, safeties are cool. You know why I like safeties, John? Because they save the day. And I think that's what it comes down to. They have to save the day. Sometimes cornerbacks get burnt, and sometimes the linebackers don't hit that running back when they're supposed to. So they got to make sure they're able to eat up enough ground and cover enough ground and help save the day. But they also sometimes give up big plays, especially the 49ers safeties. So let's talk about these safeties, John. Where we starting? Which team we starting?
Yeah, let's stay the same order. Let's go Arizona, Seattle, Rams, Niners. We'll go in
Perfect.
that order. So Arizona, their starters, Budda Baker, incredible. Jalen Thompson, Budda Baker wants out. That is a terrible team, terrible coaching staff, terrible front office. Actually, Mossy Austinford, I liked what he did during the draft, but that's a new thing for them to have a capable person in the front office. We'll see how it goes. But backups, Kendall Brooks, Javonte Moffitt, Juju Hughes. It's Budda Baker and the rest. Like,
I like Jalen Thompson though. You're not high on him, huh?
He wasn't one of my favorites, but he was 49th out of 88th on Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
Struggles a little bit in coverage. I feel like he's more of a linebacker player than and the Niners kind of took advantage of that several times. But no, he's not bad. He's an average to below average starter, but he is a starter. He's a capable starter. But Budda Baker's incredible.
It's going to be interesting to see if they make the change, they interchange him and possibly Simmons.
Yeah,
because Simmons has the speed and the coverage skills.
And so they talked about making the move of Isaiah Simmons back to safety where he should have been the whole time. Now I've seen several depth chart sites that put Isaiah Simmons at the nickel.
I see it too with the freak.
Where do you put him? And so I counted him as a nickel, but that's not a good place for him. He should be playing safety.
Well, I want him playing nickel when we play him. That's for sure. Yeah.
Every time the Niners play him, Kyle Shanahan takes him for a touchdown or two every single game.
Every single time. Every single time.
And so, like, you don't move Budda Baker, who's basically an all-pro type player at safety, to make room for this young pup. Like, you put Budda, your best player, in his best position, which is safety. That's where he should be. Isaiah Simmons is a liability wherever he's played. He's played nickel, he's played linebacker, he's played safety. Yeah, he's a freak, athleticism, height, weight, speed, all that thing, but that's not football. And so it was a waste of resources. I think they took him 6th overall. Yeah, it just hasn't worked. It's basically Taylor May all over again. You remember him?
Yeah, and I do remember. I mean, of course, I
Yeah.
remember. Let's go to Seattle.
I actually really like Seattle.
Yeah, me too. This is the
Quandre,
second freaking show.
yeah, they've got a good roster. They've done well. Quandre Diggs is one of my favorite non-49ers players in the NFL. He's a Longhorn, but he's really damn good. Jamal Adams, the president. We make fun of him all the time, and he hasn't played because he's injured, but he's still a quality player. He's overpaid for sure, but then here's the thing. Now they got Julian Love, who had over 1,000 snaps last year. He's in reserve status. Jarek Reed, they got in the 6th round. Joey Blunt, Christian Young. Not a bad depth group. Not a bad starter group. They've got options there.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick, just quick order right now, it would be Seattle 1, Arizona 2. We didn't get to the Rams or the Niners yet, but that's kind of like where I am. And when Jamal Adams is on the field, you account for him because he's gonna line up over that tight end and whatnot, and find a way to take the tight end out of the game. And so, like, he's still a high caliber player, but like you said, he's been dealing with injuries. We don't know how he's gonna come back, but when he plays top of his game. I mean, he's not great in coverage, but when the matchup is good, he's pretty darn good in coverage. But Quandre Diggs, I'm with you, bro. Is one of my favorite players to watch. They have a couple of players actually in their secondary that I like to watch, believe it or not. So he's definitely one of them.
Man, I remember we were at the Thursday night. Was it the third? No, it was the playoff game. We were at this game, 49ers versus Seahawks in the wild card round. And Brock had 2 bad passes in a row that were just bad passes, very out of script for him. The next pass hit Quandre Diggs in the chest, and he dropped it. We punted it. The game's pretty close to even. We forced an interception, score a touchdown, and then the game was out of control. But in the back of my mind was like, man, you flip. If Quandre Diggs caught that, Seahawks are getting the lead in the playoffs.
Yeah, drop pass. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'll say this. One more thing about Jamal Adams. He's really good within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. If you can get him past that, you can take advantage of him easy.
You cook him,
But, we'll see. Him on Kittle, I'll take Kittle all day. I'll take Kittle all day.
I mean, like, I feel like those safeties, the safeties that used to, like, eliminate the tight ends are pretty much out of the league now.
Yeah, because you're such a liability. And Jamal Adams, he's a relic. He's a time in the past. Like, that's the type of guy. That's Jalen Graham for us. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And so that's going to be a Sam Backer before too long.
And Benji and Dad Gaming Channel says he dropped that interception on Thursday Night Football against us. I believe. Yeah.
There we go. So
there it is.
There we go. There we go.
All right,
they blend together, don't they?
They do.
They blend together, which is a great thing. A lot of it's the alcohol, but that's not going to stop.
Ever. Let's go to the Rams ramming. Now, Shadjay said there's a report out there that said that Aaron Donald may be seeking a trade. We'll entertain that more as we hear more about it, but hey, interesting.
It's per Fox Sports. I just looked it up. NFL Rumors picked it up, which, I'm not trying to be like disrespectful, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It says maybe seeking a trade.
Seeking a trade is the key word. Hey, listen, it's possible.
He's getting paid, man. That's all he cares about. He is here for one reason only.
Now he is. He got a Super Bowl ring, and he's
good for him.
Yeah. Let's go to the Rams.
Rams are a mess, as we say, every single position group. Except starters,
for that one person we just talked about.
Yeah, that's right. And Russ Yeast and Jordan Fuller. Yeah, Russ Yeast.
Well, I like Jordan Fuller.
He's not bad.
He's not
not bad. What was his stats last year, Jordan Fuller? He got he didn't even get that many. He had 61 snaps.
61 snaps, yeah.
They don't have any safety with more than 61 snaps. Quentin Lake you could put in there, but Jordan Taylor they got in the 7th round. Quindell Johnson, undrafted free agent. Rashad Torrance, the 2nd undrafted free agent. Tanner Ingle, undrafted free agent. So they're planning on a 7th rounder or 3 undrafted free agents. Somebody taking a step up.
What's going on, Mose? He says if Adams returns to All-Pro form, the Seahawks won that trade because their draft picks haven't panned out.
I don't know, man. That was one of the worst trades I've ever seen. 2 first rounders for a
It's
guy
just
that
yeah. It
is
was
not a good safety. He's not a good safety.
yeah,
He's a pass rushing flex piece.
and he can pose problems in the right matchups. But it has to be like a slower tight end, a tight end without moves. He get cooked by Ross Dwelly, in my opinion, from the footwork.
Yeah, but okay. So they traded for him in 2020. He got 9.5 sacks that first year. After that, he has done nothing. No sacks. He's got no interceptions. No, he had 2 interceptions in 2021. That's a terrible trade, man.
Who's better, him? Who's better, him in his prime, or Talanoa Hufanga, who's going into who at some point will
Oh,
be in his prime?
Ufunga. It's not even close. And, Mose, I love Mose. He says, those picks haven't panned out. Those picks were Christian Darrisaw, who's a top 5 tackle top 5 left tackle. That's a hell of a pick. Wyatt Davis, he's starting as well. Garrett Wilson. Those were the picks that were used. Garrett Wilson's a stud. Christian Darrisaw's a stud. I'm so thankful that those 2 guys are not on the Seahawks. Good Lord. Yeah, I don't know.
I right now 1 Seattle, Arizona 2, Rams 3. That's kind of way I'm looking at the secondary.
And then we got the Niners, baby.
Then we got the Niners, baby.
They do have the only All-Pro of the group. Talanoa Hufanga last year. Tayshaun Gibson, 5 interceptions. Awesome. Now you're adding in Jair Brown. And this is where it gets interesting. You look at the Rams, they're adding in 7th rounders and undrafted free agents. The 49ers are adding in a 3rd round pick that they traded up for. George Odom, he's a special teamer. Taylor Hawkins, Avery Young, he's an undrafted free agent. But, man, you've got youth, you've got All-Pro, and you've got the experienced vet to teach the pup to come up into. I like this group a lot. I really, really do. And you go back 2 years ago when it was Jimmy Ward and Jaquaski Tart and Talanoa Moore, not Talanoa Moore, Tarvarius Moore.
Tarvarius Moore, who essentially Jair Brown is replacing him.
Yep.
Right? And that's kind of like where it is with the 49ers. So, again, I expect them to have 4 safeties. They had 4 last year. I know they got 5 right now going into camp. If everything pans out well as far as their health, I expect 4 safeties to make the roster. George Odom will still be that special teams guy, but I think Jair Brown would obviously be that 4th, but he'll be the 3rd guy. He'll be the 3rd one because they
don't want Odom playing safety.
No.
We saw it once in the Falcons.
He did get 1 interception last year, though. Yeah. I give him some credit. He got in the Arizona Cardinals game, but the instincts. I can't explain it. He's not bad. He's just not experienced to me there.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like what it is. But I do like the 49ers safeties. It's going to be hard for me to pick any group. Like, it's going to be hard for me to pick the safeties higher than the Niners safeties. Because one, we got the All-Pro guy. B, we got a guy that was like top in interceptions in the league, right? At this position. And so now I'm saying to myself, like, as much as I like the Seattle Seahawks safeties, Jamal Adams is still a big question mark, and I like our safeties over Jamal Adams. You just told me that Talanoa Hufanga was better than Adams, so that's a bump up. So if I had to order these, I got 49ers 1, Seattle 2, Cardinals 3, Rams 4.
Same order. And I put on there that the Cardinals at 3 are closer to 2 than they are 4. The Rams, and we keep saying this, but the Rams have the worst positions by a margin. If we ranked 1 through 16 of the entire NFC, the Rams would be dead last in this category. They do not have a starter caliber player. And if you're like really big on Jordan Fuller, that's okay. 61 snaps last year, and they were not good snaps. Like, they are that bad.
And see, so, like, I know when people watch the show, they're like, oh, this is a 49ers show, blah, 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 blah. But this is what I do know, right? I do know that Tayshaun Gibson wasn't even in the league until Jimmy Ward got hurt, which means he came at the very end of camp, preseason time, to be honest with you, got himself together and ended up becoming the starting free safety for the 49ers. That's the first thing. The second thing is they had a couple of hiccups, right? Because, like, You saw Hufunga like with bad communication. I felt like the communication was bad on his part because he's still young and still learning the position. I feel like that will come the more experience he gets out there. Just knowing how to talk, knowing where to be. Well, guess what? He gets that role now. Like that's he made all pro. The expectations are going to be high for the young kid. He has to find a way to communicate better. We saw him and Dre Greenlaw week one last year had just a bad communication, whatever. Maybe it was the rain, blame it on the rain. I don't know. And next thing you know, Catman Pettis is wide open and running in for a touchdown because they both on the opposite side trying to tackle the quarterback, right? And so it's just a couple of communication errors. When it came to Tashawn Gibson, and I wrote this in my article for WebZone, he played really good at safety. He just bit on the fake a couple of times, which put him out of position. But again, that's a guy that hasn't played much, hasn't played much to the caliber he played last year. Fun fact: guess without looking up how many dropped interceptions he had last
Oh
year.
man, it was at least 4.
5.
Yeah,
This
it was a
mother
lot.
freaking sucker had
Kept hitting in the hand.
5 interceptions and dropped 5. That means he should have had 10 interceptions, and probably 2 to 3 of those could have got taken to the house.
Just needs to be on the jugs machine nonstop, man.
That's it. Wide
Like-
receiving drills. Whatever it does, it takes for him to catch the pass, he has to go out there and do. But that made me say that these dudes under D'Amico Ryans were in good position to make plays because that's what you need your safeties to do. Just imagine, how can I not pick the 49ers higher in this particular group when you're bringing in a secondary defensive coordinating type of a coach?
Yeah, I'm going to keep saying it nonstop. The hiring of Steve Wilks benefits Talanoa Hufanga more than any other player on this roster.
Amen.
And he was all pro last year.
Amen.
So, and to stick with this idea, like if you're like, oh man, y'all are Niners homers, PFF had the 49ers safeties first overall out of all 32 teams.
Number
so
one.
not just us.
Number one. Let's go to cornerbacks.
All right, this was fun. So the order in which I announced the first 3 players is outside corner, nickel starter. So that hopefully that'll clear things up. So let's start with Arizona. Antonio Hamilton, Marco Wilson, Isaiah Simmons. Again, we kind of talked about how where Simmons goes, nobody knows. I'm putting him there at that nickel spot. Backups are decent. Rashad Fenton, 3rd round pick on Garrett Williams this year. Kentrell Clark in the 6th round this year. Christian Matthews, Chris Boyd. Not too bad. They've got some depth there. Not a lot of star power.
Yeah. Kentrell Clark was one of the players that worked out for the 49ers a couple of times up from Louisville. So they did look into him at one point. But listen, I like Marco Wilson. But like you said, not a lot of star power. To me, these are solid corners that can potentially get the job done. If when tested. It's going to be interesting to see how they play this year. I'm still scratching my head with Simmons at that slot though. I want that to happen.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon is not a great DC. He had an amazing, talented roster with the Eagles, and he rode that to a head coaching job, and good for him. But man, you just watch this guy in any press conference, anytime he's in front of the camera, that dude is as inauthentic as possible. If you've watched Succession, he is Kendall Roy without the rich dad. It's who he is. I'm not sure who's seen that, but all bangers all the time. That's what I want. Anyway, I digress. I'm not a fan of this group.
No, this is fun because I like Marco Wilson. I'll leave it at that. And then the rest is blah.
All right. Let's go Seattle.
Seattle, baby.
All right. They got Tyreek Woolen, who was a rookie last year. Devin Witherspoon this year and Kobe Bryant. Those are their starters.
First round pick on Witherspoon too, huh?
Yeah. Listen, they got Michael Jackson and a Kobe Bryant.
They have a Michael Jackson and a Kobe Bryant. I'm looking at them. They got Kobe Bryant out of Cincinnati, I think.
Yep. Yeah, he was. It was Sauce Gardner. He was on the opposing side. Good player. Artie Burns, Trey Brown, Lance Boykin. You remember the old TCU quarterback?
I do. They got a good squad,
man. Yeah, and Isaiah Dunn. So definitely a good group. It's interesting because Tyreek Woolen, Seattle people are kind of like Dallas fans, and the fact that they hype up Tyreek Woolen like he's this, all pro corner, but he's in the mold of not Stephon Diggs, Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs, yep.
Aggressive, lots of picks. He gets burned nonstop, man. Brandon Ayuk took this kid to the woodshed, and yeah, he's got the interceptions, which is incredible, but man, he gets burnt consistently.
And you're going to get that when you're dealing with a person that's going to come out there and pretty much gamble, right? And so, like, that's what you get from him, a Diggs type. But listen, when they get their hands on the ball,
he's a good player.
Exactly.
That's Spencer Burford and what's his name's teammate. So they played at UTSA, man.
UTSA. All
the
right.
Roadrunners.
All right. Beep, beep.
Yeah, that's right.
But this is a solid group, John. Like,
Yes.
Seattle always, to me, finds a way to produce on the defensive side of the ball. Like, they find those players that fit them. They're not those star-studded players that came out of college, except for this year. They went and got Devon Witherspoon. I think he's going to be a solid piece for them. Smaller guy, but they're going to have him probably playing on the left side, can also play nickel as well. It's going to be interesting to see how this group, comes out and shows up for the Seattle Seahawks. Let's go to the Rams, because I'm looking at the Rams. And I'm just looking at the Rams.
It's so bad. They just signed Akello Witherspoon, 49ers legend, Darion Kendrick, and Kobe Durant. Now, they did draft LT's nephew, Travius Hodges Tomlinson in the 6th. Robert Rochelle, Vincent Gray. Ugh. So bad, man. Akello Witherspoon's not a good corner. He's not good. He wasn't good when he was with us. He wasn't good when he was with the Steelers. Probably one of the most deep ball allowed reception corners, if there's a stat for that, in the NFL over the past 5 years when he's not hurt.
I wanted to put this up because Ramilia Sports Report says last year injuries hurt Rams. Guys like up and coming Kobe Durant looks like he's going to be a star. Guys like Darion Kendrick, Quentin Lake was hurt, Robert Rochelle, Rams secondary. And the reason why I put this up is because he knows his team. He knows the potential and the players, because this is the team that he loves and he covers, right? So these are some names. I put this up just to have some names out there for you guys to just, if these guys start popping up on the thing, maybe they will make plays, but they still shit to me. Like, at the end of the day, like, they just aren't good.
This is one of the worst corner groups in the NFL. I mean, Akello Witherspoon, you're asking him to be healthy, okay, which hasn't happened. And then the thing is, he hates contact. He does not want to ever tackle. So you got a Dion type guy that refuses to tackle, but he can't cover either. He's got the metrics, 6'3", good feet, all those things. But at the end of the day, this ain't flag football. And that was why, he wore his welcome out here and I still remember probably a real reason why I'm still bitter. Do you remember that Miami game when we got just dusted, where they were just
because
Fitzpatrick?
I know. Was it Akello?
Well, it was him, because he told the coaches, I'm ready to go. He was coming off an injury.
Oh, right.
Put me out there.
Yeah.
And then they go through warm-ups, and he goes, Coach, I can't go.
So they had to put in that kid, Brian Allen.
They put in Brian Allen, who never practiced, because Akello said, I need the reps because I'm going to play. And they asked him, they said, if you're iffy, you got to tell us. And he said, no, I'm good to go, Coach. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. And then before warm-ups, he said, I can't go. And so, I don't know. It still bothers me to this day, because
it should bother you.
Toast on Brian Allen, not his fault. Not his fault.
It wasn't his fault, but damn it, I don't care if you ain't practicing or not. Just don't get beat. He got burnt.
But then Akello Witherspoon said at halftime, I can go.
I can go. I remember it.
He never played for us again. That was it.
I remember it. I remember that. And I remember Kyle getting rid of his ass, just like he should have. I remember that. I remember that. And never mind. There was stuff. So much about that. Hey, good luck with the Rams, Akello. Good luck getting.
Niners. I'm telling you right now, Niners are going to have targets.
See,
they're going to have targets.
Now, let me ask you this question. Let's play the what if game. How would you feel, or how would you kind of rank the Rams if they still had Jalen Ramsey?
Oh, yeah, that would be huge.
It changes It
I
changes
put
it.
them past Arizona. I would not put
Yeah.
them past Seattle.
I don't know. I might put him past Seattle. That star factor,
Yeah,
that
he's that good.
one person it boosts a lot for me.
Would they get a third for him? Didn't they
I
get a
don't know.
third?
I don't know what they got for him. I
They
know they
get
traded for him and paid a lot for him when they took him from Jacksonville, but golly.
Yeah, they got a third round pick. They got Hunter Long,
Oh, tight end?
tight end. They got Hunter Long out of Boston College. Yeah.
Look, all like if they still had Ramsey, they may be number one for me. Seattle would be two. But the fact that they don't lets you know that their secondary, their cornerbacks, I don't care how promising those young guys are. Like if the world hasn't seen them, then they're shit.
Yeah. My thing with Ramsey is he's a hell of a player. A top 3 corner guaranteed. He never had good game against the Niners. He never.
Yeah,
he
it's
never
because
had
of
his good
Deebo
games
though.
against
It
us.
was
Yeah.
it was the physicality. I don't think Ramsey was a physical guy. He was like Deion Sanders. Not
Yeah.
like I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm not comparing him to Deion Sanders in that sense. I want people to understand that. But remember, Deion didn't like to tackle. Ramsey would tackle, right? But he played more with finesse and I don't know. You put somebody physical. Deebo is just too damn physical for anybody in the league. That's how I look at it. That's why I like Deebo so much. And it's gonna be crazy this year. Niners, corners.
Yeah, pretty good group. Charvarius Ward, Demo, who freaking shined last year. I would argue Diamador Lenore was the best defender in the playoffs. Him and Eric Armstead just freaking were incredible all 3 playoff games. And then Isaiah Oliver. Those are your starters. And the backup, Samuel Womack, I think he's first off, for any of those 3. Darrell Luter Jr., they drafted in the 5th round. Ambry Thomas, they paid a lot for Deshaun Jameson, Quantrez Knight. There's depth there. And if you just look at, Pro Football Focus, Charvarius Ward was 6th. Isaiah Oliver was 10th out of the corners.
I want people to circle the name Darrell Luter Jr., please. If this kid has a great training camp, which I'm believing he will, because he just has the knack to play football. It's kind of like he doesn't let people catch the ball on him. I feel like that's a way to bump your ass up on the depth chart really easily.
It's a lot of people to fight through. That's the thing, man.
That's the hardest part, but it's the gift and the curse for him, because at least he knows he's on a team that's stacked, and at some point, if he keeps pushing, he's going to get his chance. And once he gets in, there's many ways to get opportunities to play in the NFL. And once you get in, like I think he just has the nick and the knack to play football. I think it's going to be really dope. So I really do like. I got the Niners 1, Seattle 2, Arizona 3, Rams 4th.
Same. And a big reason why I have the Niners first is their depth. Samuel Womack, Darrell Luter Jr., and Ambry Thomas would start for Arizona and the Rams. Those 3, our 3 backups, would be the first string for both of those teams.
That would be their left, right, and their nickel.
Maybe not over Kobe Durant. We only saw him for a little bit, but he was pretty good. But yeah, I'm telling you, Samuel Womack's better than Kobe Durant, in my opinion.
This is crazy. Mo says, Breezy, speaking of DLJ, Darrell Luter Jr., we keeping 5 or 6 corners. If so, who are they? This is tough because this is tough. I got 6 receivers. Yeah. And since I got 6 receivers, I think we go 6 corners. But then that means we're lessening somebody. I think
whether it's tackles or safeties or linebackers or DTs or
well, I know we're going 4 safeties, right?
Yeah.
How many corners do you think we're going with? 5 or 6?
I would like 6.
So 5 is the number. I got you. It has to be.
I think it's going to be 5.
All right, so
Ambry Thomas I got on the outs.
Okay, so let's go through our 5.
Charvarius Ward, Deebo, Oliver, Womack are locks. I think those 4.
So that's 4. So now we're talking Ambry Thomas, Darrell Luter Jr.,
Deshaun Jameson, Quantrez Knight.
Damn.
Yep. It's going to be tough, man.
You got Ambry out. I think Ambry comes and smacks everybody in the face. I just got this funny feeling.
So if he joins, you're pushing Womack out?
No, that Womac's still there.
So that's 6.
No, that would be the 5th, right? You only
So
named
over Daryl Luter Jr.
It's gonna be tough, bro.
That's the thing. Like, it's easy to say, oh, so and so is going to make the roster, but you got to say, like, there's limited spots.
They're limited spots. Here's the thing. Like for me, Darrell Luter Jr., in my opinion, may be the most physical DB out there. So I don't see how he doesn't make this roster. So yeah, for that sense, I think Ambry's gone, right? If Ambry doesn't come with that physicality to his game, if
what did Wilks say about Ambry Thomas? What do you remember?
I remember exactly what he said. He looks good out there, but we'll see what it's like when he put the pads on.
Yep, you got to bring the physicality, man. He's a Detroit kid, so we know what's there.
It's there. It's just weird. I don't know, but what I do know is our practice squad about to be lit if they can clear the waivers. And the thing is, you want the depth to be there because God forbid there's a nagging injury to one of your starters, and now you go to your practice squad and the depth, the quality of depth. If Ambry Thomas doesn't make the 53 and he somehow ends up on the practice squad, which I think he will, hasn't played much football. I don't see anybody picking him up, right? That's good for the 49ers because at least they got
tape on there though. Like
he does have good tape.
I think
his rookie year.
Most teams don't value physicality at the defensive back position like the Niners do. And so if you don't care about that, man, I'd pick up Ambry because he can cover.
I know, but that's you. Like, you're watching the team. I don't think they're watching. I really think Kyle Shanahan is damn boy genius at hiding people.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't see him at all last year, and he got
you didn't see anything until special teams toward the end of the season. But he had the promise of being a lockdown corner at the end of his rookie year. Like, something the math ain't mathing, bro.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens when they put these pads on in a couple of weeks. 19 days to be exact. John, we got a special treat for everybody. We did rank the corners, right? We went 1 Niners, 2 Hawks. Okay, just making sure we did.
Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams.
That's it. Let's get to the kickers, man, because kickers, punters, they get zero love. And I think it's time for us to start breaking down the person that scores the most damn points on the team by the end of the season.
Yeah, there we go. So this was a weird one. So the way in which I class this, it's not a perfect science by any stretch. Kickers, I just did PFF ranks. Punters, I did inside 20 percentage. And then I just did average experience or years played in the NFL for long snappers. I don't know how to grade. I coach long snappers, but I don't know how to get that data, and I don't watch the film on a lot of these guys. So that's kind of how we're going to do it. It's weird. So let's start with Arizona. Their kicker, Matt Prater, was 14th. Their punter, Matt Hack, was 14th. And Aaron Brewer, their long snapper, 3 years in the NFL.
Okay. All right. Hey,
yeah, 14th. They're average, but they have 3 vets. They're the only team
with the veterans.
Everybody else got rookies. So
I'm
that
At
matters.
it now.
That matters.
That does matter.
So let's go to Seattle, who I really, really like. They got Jason Myers. Their kicker was 8th last year. Michael Dixon had the worst year of his career last year. He's an all-pro Pro Bowl punter. He finished 22nd and down inside the 20 percentage. But I'm telling you, right, like Michael Dixon is a top 3 punter year in and year out. Last year was his first down year. So curious to see if he rebounds, what happens there. And then an undrafted free agent long snapper, Chris Stoll. So, yeah, that's Seattle.
Interesting. Rams.
But top 10 kicker, that's huge. Rams, Jesus. It's so bad everywhere. I cannot find anything that is good. They have an undrafted free agent kicker in Tanner Brown. They 7th round pick on a punter, Ethan Evans, and an undrafted free agent long snapper, Alex Ward. 3 rookie specialists. That's unheard of.
Niners.
Okay, 3rd round pick, Jake Moody. Oh, I'm not going to say anything there. Mitch Wisnowski was 1st, his best year by far in his career. Mitch Wisnowski was first in punts percentage down inside the 20-yard line. Tabor Pepper, 5 years. So the Niners got the punter. The Niners got the long snapper as far as first ranks there. But Jake Moody as a kicker, I know everybody's really, really high on him. That's the
It's a question
rookie
mark.
kickers are weird.
It's a
Rookie
question
kickers
mark.
are weird.
It's a question mark. And it should be a question mark because he hasn't kicked yet.
Right.
In the NFL. Has he kicked in big games? For sure.
For sure.
But has he kicked in the NFL on Sundays? Hell no. Not yet. So I can understand that. I thought we were gonna do like where we rank the kickers and then
We
rank
could
the
do that.
I'd rather do that because it's easier. To me, it's easier that way.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, kickers, I don't think there's any debate here. Jason Myers is a top 10 guy.
I think you
year in
go.
and year out.
I think so for kickers. I would go Meyer. I would go Seahawks, Cardinals. I'm going Niners over the Rams.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they got an undrafted free agent kicker. We got a third-round kicker.
Yeah. So I mean,
if
just for
nothing
the
else.
value, right? You get what I'm saying? Like that's how I would go with the kickers, and then with the punters, that's different because I feel like Mitch Wisnowski is probably the best out of this group. Even though Michael Dixon did have that down year, I would go Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams. Are you different?
No, that's exact. Michael Dixon's better than Mitch Wisnowski. Like, okay, they're both been in the league about the same time. Dixon came out the year before. Like, Dixon has been first, second, third, second, 22nd. And then if you look at Wisnowski, he's been like 20th, 18th, 25th.
Is
first.
this what have you done for me lately, or is this
Right? Exactly. You got to. And the Rams are just last in every single thing. Like, it doesn't matter. Now, if we're looking at long snappers, the 49ers got the best depth.
Yeah.
And then after that, let's see here. Yeah, you
I
got
might-
two rookies. Cardinals have a 3-year guy.
I would go Cardinals. So I would go Niners, Cardinals, Seattle Rams.
And to be fair, like, we've been hating on the Rams a lot, but Seattle's got an undrafted free agent guy too. So maybe
I'm fine. All right, let's go. Let's give the Niners,
Rams-
Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks.
yeah, let's try to. Yeah, now he's snapping to a rookie kicker, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, we'll take that for what you want.
I don't mind that.
Yeah,
all right. Here we got some more Rams knowledge here. Rams have a big leg punter, best kicker in college, 2022 statistically. Good luck this season. I can't wait. The Rams still have the best quarterback wide receiver duo, and the NFC West. Rams offense is going to be explosive. So you agree that Stafford,
Cup,
Stafford to Cup. Yep, I can agree with that. I had to think about the quarterbacks throwing the ball to the receiver combination.
Yeah, I think that's very accurate, and that's the thing. And for me, my biggest thing, if I was a Rams fan, here's what I'm harping on: we have quality coaching. Coaching matters in the NFL. McVay's a hell of a coach.
Good point.
And to have the veteran quarterback there, if he could stay healthy, that's a big deal. So we have ranked the Cardinals consistently ahead of the Rams in almost every single category, but I'm taking the Rams over the Cardinals because of McVay. Jonathan Gannon's a moron.
I said that.
Be that.
On Tuesday. I believe that's what I said. I was like, at the end of the day, like, you got to look at McVay. I don't think that this guy from the Eagles, I think that's where he came from, is going to come in and be able to coach the Cardinals to a victory, especially without his best player on offense. There's no Kyler Murray. Like, and even with Kyler Murray, I still think they would struggle under a new coaching regime.
Yeah.
You're talking about Sean McVay, who is definitely one of the top 10 head coaches in the league. So at the end of the day, he might know how to work his players better than any one of these coaches other than Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is the tenure guy. Kyle Shanahan is great, but he's still figuring stuff out. And it's hard to figure out when you don't have your quarterback. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know which guy is you're going to be going with. You can put all the marbles in. So that's what makes Kyle a little bit more shaky. So if we had to rank the coaches,
I'm putting Shanahan ahead.
of everybody.
Yeah, I am.
I don't
but
know.
I mean, you've
I
got the
like Pete
Super Bowl
Carroll.
win, you got all that stuff, whatever else. But no, I,
I
if I was picking an organization and I could have any coach to be
okay.
my coach, I'm taking Shanahan over Carroll. I'm taking Shanahan over McVay. You could say, hey, that's ridiculous. Both those are Super Bowl winning coaches. I understand that. Once he gets a quarterback, then
That's
we
all
could
it
have
is.
that
Listen,
conversation.
once Kyle Shanahan solidifies the guy he wants to run with to lead this regime for the next several, years,
Yeah.
it's over.
He
But
had 2
until
years with
then,
Matt Ryan, and it was one of the best
see, but
offenses in the history of NFL.
but until then, that's why I can't put him one.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
That's very fair.
I got Carroll. It's I know McVay won the Super Bowl, but I still got Kyle Shanahan ahead of McVay slightly,
Well, when they play each other, he just completely destroys them.
except for in the big game, except for in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, this is going to be fun, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying these shows. We got a couple of more weeks with a couple of more position groups to get to you Tuesdays. Every Tuesday and Friday will be on both streams. Before we get out of here, we got a couple of super chats that we didn't get to. Peachy joined the show earlier. What's up, Peachy? She says, thank God it's Friday. Breezy and John so swamped at work. That's what happens with the short week. Hope you are having a great show. 49ers secondary is definitely the best. Can't wait to see you both in Pittsburgh. Take 6, BBCCC. Thank you, Peachy. All right, we got another one. Awesome. Another one from Sean. I'm going to let you read this one, dog.
The Niners had the best safety that ever played, Ronnie Lott. Only player to go to the Pro Bowl. Corner, safety, strong safety, the best. What D. Hicks, Christian Williamson, Jordan Fuller, C. Brooks, M. Hanks, need I go on? There we go.
I hear. A quick question. Rod Woodson didn't go as a corner and safety?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that question.
I believe he did. He was a 49er at one point, too.
Yeah, he was.
Just asking you, Sean, look that up for me, bro. Because I remember Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was dope. And then Jax ends the show with the contribution saying that Jair Brown, or maybe she's talking about Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, is my guy. She's not.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
Damn, son. I gift you my guy and you throw shade on Jaylen Brown? Damn.
I like Jaylen Brown. He's my favorite Celtic.
I give you a Grant Williams.
I don't like Grant Williams.
You gonna like him when he join your team, though. I know that.
I know. Hey, he plays good defense.
he does play good defense.
Don't talk to the man for Miami. Stay away from him. He lost that series for y'all, man. Why would he do that?
He did. John, great show. This was more fun than I anticipated because, no disrespect, we were talking about kickers. And I was just like, how are we going to make this fun? But we did.
You did. I like the way you broke it down at the end. That was fun.
You did. I can't wait to now we got a few more position groups, John. I would like for the audience to pick the position group. So they can either email. Could we put up a poll on Twitter? How can we go about doing that?
Let me tell you what we have not done yet.
Okay.
As I'm scrolling, there we go. We actually only have 3 position groups left we haven't done.
Okay.
Quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. That's what we were going to do next. That's all the positions we have left.
No, can we do them on 3 different shows?
We can. Yeah, we can do it however. We've been doing 3 each, but yeah, we can break it down however.
Yeah, I would like that because the quarterbacks are going to be – that's going to take a whole show.
Okay.
The wide receivers, I think, will take a whole show. That's going to be fun. And then I think the running backs will too. That's going to be – those are 3 fun shows. So, and then after that, it's training camp.
Yeah.
All right. This is good. So we'll find a way to put them in the poll. And then what we'll do is whichever gets the most votes, that will be on Tuesday. And then the second most votes will be a Friday. And then the following Tuesday will be the last group.
Cool.
All right. Hey, guys, we love y'all. John, you ready to take us home?
Let's do it, man. This is awesome. I hope you go into the weekend. I know a lot of people are stressed, short week, all those things. I'm moving in less than 24 hours up to the Bay Area. I'm pumped. But constantly keep your mind on positives and the good things, family, 49ers, good happiness. This is awesome. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Until next time, stay strong, faithful.
yeah, yeah, yeah.